Well, what's up, good people? Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. You know, I feel like I am like a nomad these days because it's like I've been literally all over the place. It's crazy. I started out this morning in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, tiling a shower, walls and all that, drove all the way back here because I had to pick up some stuff and take care of a few things, and going to be driving back up there tonight so that way I can get back to work and avoid morning traffic. So forgive me. There may be a little bit of confusion because I remember my man Game Time Brian, who's feeling a little under the weather right now. Hope you're feeling better, Game Time. He was texting me yesterday and he was like, "What? Where's the show? Where's the show?" And I was like, "We changed to Sundays because now the season's over, the Super Bowl's done, to kind of fill in for what's normally game day." JJ, what's up, JJ? Marcus Blackman, Ruben in the house, north of the border lawn care. How much lawn care do you have in Canada, my man? Dante Costa, what's up? And welcome Flowman as a channel member. So I don't know if anybody's going to chime in because it's like, oh, it's today, not yesterday. So if you are, give us a buzz right here. Tomorrow starts, and that's another one of the things I want to do too, is take one of these TVs with me while I'm working on this bathroom so I can watch the combine. Shout out to YouTube TV. I have finally, Yasmin Cowboy, what's up? Linda, lovely Linda in the place with the style and the grace, and I don't have my box over here. I literally just got back here 20 minutes ago off the road. Shout out to YouTube TV because I have, now that the season is over, I have gotten rid of cable TV completely. And what's crazy about it is our cable bill, which was the triple package, they stick you with stick you with the home line, the internet, and cable TV, and it's the triple crown or triple package or whatever it was, and I have had that forever, and it was $298. I got rid of the 8 cable boxes, got rid of the triple play, so I don't have cable TV with them anymore. And the home phone that hasn't, it rings. It's probably just salespeople always trying to get you to do something, or scammers. Cut all that, and I went from $298 to $106 with super high speed internet. So I'm happy about that. And the $75 that I spend on YouTube TV travels with me wherever I go. So I use that here. I use it down when I'm at the red brick house. So it's like, it's saving me quite a bit of money. So shout out to them. But tomorrow starts the combine, and somebody with their iPhone's having a little problem getting started. Tomorrow starts the combine, where we'll start seeing the next generation of NFL players. What's interesting to me, what is very interesting to me, is that Mike McCarthy and Mike Zimmer, Mike and Mike, won't be there at the combine. They still have a couple of spots left open on the coaching, but I think that they are digging deep in trying to figure out what their plan is as far as what the team is going to be doing offense and defense wise. And I'm hoping, this is where I'm hoping and it's been hard, y'all. Roland's Review, what's up, Stacy? Jeff Lee in the house, what's going on? Ruben Walls, what's going on? B. Chris May, how are you doing? Mark, I'll send you a copy of pics of my lawn so you can see what I do. Well, you know what? North of the border, I need some help with the lawn over at the red brick house because, from all the construction work we did last year and all the poison ivy and everything else, I don't have a lot of grass, and I need to get a nice lawn going on there. At least one of them should be there. Actually, I'm okay with that, and I would actually like. Okay, let's set in the motion here. Let's have a discussion here on combine. Combine is beyond just the players that you're going to be drafting. You have to realize that the season ended a couple weeks ago. It wasn't long ago, 2 weeks ago. This is now, everybody is here in Indianapolis. The owners, the GMs, the scouts and all that, usually the coaches as well. And so this is an opportunity that you can start doing some business. Sometimes what you see is you'll see some big trades come out of these, because the thing is everybody has to be underneath the salary cap by the 13th of March. So a little over 2 weeks, 2 weeks and 2 days, because that's the beginning of the league year. Free agency, legal tampering starts on the 11th. That would be 2 weeks from today. So if you're talking about trying to make a big impact with some of the free agents, you got to get going right now and figuring out who you want to do. Now, here's where we actually have some news. The Saints restructured Derek Carr's contract and got $23 million in cap relief. Of course, we have the NFL salary cap is now up at $255 million. And as I look through right now, cap space, the Commanders have the most at $79 million. And we have all these damn ads. I got to put ads on everything. And we are currently $12.9 million over the cap, which sounds bad. I'm sorry. Maybe hold on. $9.8 million over the cap, which sounds bad, but in retrospect, that's not as bad as it sounds, because the Saints were they're at $42 million over. They were 73, so they've already created $30 million of cap space right now. What's up, Thomas Garrett?
What up? Where's everybody at?
I think I screwed the pooch because, it used to be Saturdays that we were doing this.
Yeah.
Stephen Brown has got Stephen, unmute your mic, man. And so like Game Time sent me a message yesterday. I was knee deep on this bathroom that I'm remodeling up in Harrisburg, up in Micah's town. I don't know if they're going to put a hit on me, his people and stuff, because I've been talking or not. But he was like, you got a show today. I was like, no, we switched to Sundays after the Super Bowl. And so that's where I changed up. So everybody might not know that it's Sunday. So that's probably it. But it will be Sundays, right, because, there's no games, and this kind of fills in. It keeps the feel of football going, at least in my mind. And maybe I'm just crazy. Lady Libra in the house, the entertainer taking drugs. Yo, Mark, why you showing Dak your crack in your last video? You know what, bro? My friend Allie, she's like, I got to the point where I see your crack so much, she said, it don't even faze me anymore. It's one of those things. If Mark's around, you're going to see crack. Okay. Again, you know what? Entertainer, we know who you are. Actually, some of y'all might actually get a little turned on by seeing my crack. So I can't deny the world, my ass. I'm glad that you enjoy it so much. Rhonda Ward, how are you doing? I mean, geez, flip. Well, Thomas, you work out a lot more than I do, so maybe you don't have this problem. But see, when you start getting older, what happens is your stomach gets bigger than your ass and your hips. And so it forces your pants down. And I'm always moving and everything else. And so I tighten my belt up, but it just actually, when you tighten it up more, it pushes it down more. I know what I need. I need to wear suspenders, but it's like once you wear suspenders, you finally give it up and said, I'm just an old fuck. And I'm not ready to give up and say I'm an old fuck. So, if you don't like crack, don't smoke it and don't watch my channel. Okay. You're going to see some crack here. Damn.
Mark, I'm not going to give you that information.
What's that?
I'm not going to give you that information.
Oh man. Jeez. Look, his whole takeaway, look, Sunday morning, I'm here putting up tiles, rebuilding a whole bathroom, drove 2.5 hours to get back here so I can do a live stream and get these butcher blocks done, and then go drive back up there. And the only thing he got to say is, "You showed your crack." Come on, man. Shit. Something got to give.
It was only 2 words I could say about that, Mark.
What's that?
That was all shit.
Oh, shit. Okay.
I already know what was going to go down later, which is now.
You know what? I got no problem with it. Okay. You know what? I'm happy. Shit. At least I got, at least it's not pimple covered. Okay. At least it don't look like cottage cheese.
That's too much information, Mark.
Oh, shit. Okay, it could be worse. Okay, all right. Julian, how you doing, man? You just stepped into some shit right here.
I don't know if I'm good after hearing all this stuff about your butt crack and.
No, I try to educate, and I guess part of my education is I need to get longer shirts. Okay, when you put on some weight, your shirts get a little tighter and stuff like that, and you're moving and bending and everything else, and you got the camera stuff. You're gonna show some ass, okay? Damn, we act like we ain't all seen a crack before. Come on, get over it.
I'm just thankful that I just ate dinner about 15 minutes ago.
Oh shit, it didn't make you throw up there. Damn. All right, let's move on to some other ass here. The Dallas Cowboys. I'm sitting here thinking, in my mind, Jerry was talking about going all in, right? Or no, he was actually asked the question, and Jerry Jones, he gonna put out there all kind of speaking shit like that to make you think that everything's hunky-dory. But all in at the moment isn't as much as you think because of the salary cap's additional $31 million. See, I know we are $9.8 million over the cap at the moment. Shout out to Troy Daniels. Troy and his wife have had the surgery. And I think he's 150 pounds already between the two. I'm like, damn, Troy. Can a brother get on that program? Because Lord knows, and maybe I wouldn't show so much crack. Maybe they'll give me an exemption and say, we'll throw this in so you stop showing so much crack, Mark. But $9.8 million is peanuts in comparison to where we usually are in the offseason.
Right.
We were like
$8 million. That ain't.
I think we were like 24 or 21 last year. And typically with Romo's years, we were always like 30 something over, and that's when the cap was a lot lower. So you could easily get underneath that with just, restructuring like, Zach Martin or Diggs's contract and things like that to do that. I've gotten so much, I've been beat down about Dak Prescott. Everybody's just like, screw Dak. I'm done with Dak. Dak got to go because you can't win with him. But I'm sitting here listening. The Giants say that maybe they should be done with Daniel Jones and need to move on from him. Thinking about the Commanders who, they're going to try and draft a quarterback and things, right? You hear about the Browns that, maybe they might be done with Deshaun Watson. You hear that Denver's done with Russell Wilson. So where are you going to go to find all these quarterbacks? That's what I want to know. Where are we going to find all these quarterbacks because the teams are done with? Because they ain't falling out the sky. Anybody got a solution on that one? Anybody? I had a person this morning made a comment and said, listen, Cowboys are wasting too much money with Dak Prescott. Let's go sign Carson Wentz. He'll be cheap. We'll get Bobby Wagner and get ourselves a running back, and we'll be a better team.
They didn't seriously suggest Carson Wentz, did they?
They did. It was in a comment. I was like, okay. I was like, so when Washington had the chance to make the playoffs and they put Carson Wentz back in there, he threw 3 interceptions. Carson Wentz, he'll be cheap. Somebody's got the volume on. But yeah, somebody actually suggested that one because but keep Cooper Rush laugh out. Troy, yeah, keep. Okay, somebody's got the volume up in the background, so it's feeding back.
Okay, I was like, so
When Washington. Okay, somebody. Okay, David, you've got it on in the background, and it feeds back and echoes. So I muted you. Okay, and you got to turn that off. Okay, so okay, somebody's got the volume up in the background. So David, you've got it up. You're listening to it in the background, and so it's echoing. There you go. No, it's still there. We got it all in the background, and it feeds back and echoes. So I mean, as much as I love hearing my voice, it's not good in there. Okay. All right. Welcome, David. Just turn the volume down. Turn the volume down or put an earpiece in. Okay. So. Listening to it in the background. Is that better? Echoing. There you go. Cool. No. David, it's still there. Yeah. It's still. If you. Okay, there you go. Okay, there we go. Welcome, David. Okay, so I want to just get a solution, and it doesn't seem to matter to anybody at this point. Everybody is just angry. You can say, okay, listen, you got $36 million that they've already put in dead money for Dak. If we move on from Dak, let's say you cut him tomorrow, that means you got $90 million you got to pay over the next 2 years for him.
Yeah, and who are we looking at?
You're not bringing anybody else in during that. So you have to have him in the equation for this year. Trey Lance, man, that guy is good. It's like he's thrown 108 passes.
Yeah, and Trey Lance is more like a project quarterback. I mean, what else can you do with the guy?
Yeah, Trey Lance hadn't taken a snap in the last couple of years.
Right. But even when he did, he's had 108 passes in the NFL.
Exactly. Yep.
Mm-hmm. You know what? I almost wish I could do. It hit me while I was doing all the tile today. I wish we could be like the ghost of Cowboys Christmas, where we could go back and take some of the fans and see the future of what the Cowboys would look like if we moved on with Dak. I almost, I don't want to see the Cowboys play like shit, but we've been blessed having Romo and Dak back to back. I was sitting here thinking about, name me any quarterbacks on the Cleveland Browns that have been better than Dak Prescott and Tony Romo.
There ain't any.
The Jets, none. I mean, you could say, some people will say Joe Namath, but Joe Namath was kind of a flash in the pan. You can look at the Jets and say they've never had quarterbacks that are better than Dak and Romo. You can look and say Washington, since Mark Rippon, hasn't had quarterbacks as good as that. And you could go down the list of lots of teams that look and say, shit, I wish we had a guy that good. Mark, and we just have everybody that says, fuck that guy, get rid of him.
Mark, I'm going to tell you something, man.
Tell me.
Since 2016, we've been blessed because if it wasn't for Dak, we wouldn't be in the position that we're in now. We would be back in the early parts of the millennium going 5-11, 5-11, 6-10, 7-9, 5-11.
With the exception of only 2 seasons since Dak Prescott's been the quarterback of the team, we've actually done fairly good. But a lot of people don't understand is that football is a team game, and you can't just put all the blame on one guy.
Right.
Derek Young says, this is the problem with our fan base. We had a quarterback that finished second in MVP voting, but we want him gone. I'm just saying that I keep putting it out there, and people will swear that our defense was as good as Kansas City's or as good as San Francisco's. We did some good things. We were built to be pass rushers. We weren't built to stop the run at all.
Right.
At all. We didn't really have a run-stopping linebacker. In fact, we really didn't have linebackers after Van Der Esch got hurt. And we weren't built to run the football. I look at it and say, I don't know that Pat Mahomes would have won against the Green Bay Packers as bad as the rest of the team played. Am I wrong in that one? I mean, seriously, I still look at it and say, without Baltimore, going against Baltimore, without that Kansas City defense, they're not in the Super Bowl. And they're not winning the Super Bowl with that defense. Now, you have to have a good quarterback to be able to play and win. But if you don't have the defense and the running game to go with it, it doesn't matter.
Right.
And that's where I just want to see, I sit here and look and I say, okay, we're basically $10 million over the cap. We can easily get under the cap and have some money if they go ahead and get CeeDee Lamb done. And I'm CeeDee Lamb. I'm waiting to see what they do with Dak before I sign my contract.
Yeah, Justin Jefferson, he going through the same thing in Minnesota.
Mm-hmm.
They had a contract waiting for him, and Justin Jefferson said it. He said, "Hey, man, look, I'm not signing the dotted line until y'all get my quarterback signed.
Right.
Y'all got to get what's the name signed before I ain't signed the dotted line."
Yeah,
that's all it is to it.
Contrary to what CeeDee's mom may have said. But, you don't want to think, well, I got Trey Lance, am I going to gamble my future on him or Cooper Rush? I mean, I'm just saying, I don't know. I'm not there. But that would be definitely part of the equation for me. And if you get those two contracts done, just between those two, you could have about $40 million without even touching any of the other contracts. And so when you think about if they have $40 million to spend, they just spend that money and actually get some decent players. That is kind of all in comparison to what the Cowboys usually do. We always go the scratch and dent over the hill and the never beens pile in free agency.
If I'm CeeDee Lamb, I'm going to approach my mom and I'm be like, "Ma, we need to go on the den. We need to have a talk." And I tell her, I'd be like, "Hey, yo, living in this nice house in the burbs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Riding this nice car. We're talking about putting a swimming pool in the backyard, so you could bring some of your cuckoo girlfriends over here. Better chill out."
Chris May was asking, is there something we can do with Michael Gallup? Unfortunately, here's the thing with Michael Gallup. You're going to pay $13.9 million for Michael Gallup. If you cut him tomorrow, you'll save about $800,000. You can make him a post June 1st cut, in which case you'll save about $8 million on this year. And this is the thing people don't understand about when you make a post June 1st cut, then the money is spread out over 2 seasons. So this year, we still have another $7 million that we actually have on the cap for Zeke Elliott. Okay? But it gives you a little bit more money to work with this year. And when you see the salary cap go up by the $31 million and all the television money still isn't even in yet, or the gambling money, and now that ESPN is part of the whole gambling situation, to me that was kind of, does anybody else see that as a conflict of interest with ESPN? Because it's kind of like you're on TV, your whole role is shaping people's perception on football, and you're gambling. Some of this stuff is just kind of unsavory. Byron B says Fox's Rob Parker is done with Dak. He says he knows what Dak is. He would rather have the unknown. Are we talking about the village idiot Rob Parker? Rob Parker, who said that, Dak Prescott could win the Super Bowl this year and he still wouldn't have proven anything to me. Man, those village idiots.
It's that.
The only reason why you're talking about Rob Parker is because he's saying some stupid shit. Other than that, nobody would care about Rob Parker. Agreed?
Oh, yeah.
I totally concur.
Well, let me ask you guys, how are you still mad as hell? Are you done with the team? Oh, no, you're probably not done with the team. You're here on a Sunday afternoon talking about it.
In my honest opinion, I definitely think this team has a shot to possibly go all in. In my personal opinion, if we can get Dak extended and manage to get CeeDee's deal done, it'll definitely open up some salary cap space to be able to get in some good quality free agents if the Jones are willing to go that route. But it's been a while since they've actually signed anybody really any good that would actually help this team win. Last year we had 2 good pick trades with Gilmore and Cooks, but those were trades. As far as actually signing good quality free agents like a possible Derrick Henry or Josh Jacobs or anything like that, because let's face it, this team needs a running game. And Tony Pollard didn't really look all that good. And defensively, our defensive line, Micah Parsons is still great and everything like that. And I really had high hopes for Mozzie Smith. I mean, I called him Big Moz and everything like that. But I didn't really see much production out of him. It could be one of those, it's just a rookie year slump. Hopefully he definitely improves next year. But the biggest thing that I noticed from our defense, where's the linebackers?
We didn't.
Our linebacker play.
We kind of had like the perfect storm when it came to linebackers because Overshone got injured in training camp. Devin Harper, they ended up. Don't ask me why, but they ended up putting him out on waivers. He got picked up, and we lost him. And then, of course, Leighton Vander Esch got injured. So it was just kind of like the perfect storm of losing everything.
And not only that, you had. We had them young linebackers that we picked up in draft and free agency, and they got rid of all of them.
Yeah, and figured, we'll just play a safety in there.
Yeah.
And when they got rid of Isaiah Land, Devin, what's his name?
And Devin Harper.
The other guy, Todd, in a story. I was like, "What are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you thinking?" And it came back to bite us in the ass at the end.
Yeah, sure did.
Yeah.
But, I said it Friday night on your stream, Mark. I said it. I said, man, because you was talking about the salary cap increase and everything, and I remember I wrote it in the chat. I said, man. Stephen Jones. Now I don't call him Stephen Jones anymore. I call him Dollar Bill. Dollar Bill is gonna fool around and mess things up. He's gonna mess it up. I want to be wrong. Don't get it twisted. I want to be wrong. He's gonna sign Dak, and somewhere when it comes to picking up a free agent, a top free agent, he's gonna jack it off. He's going to mess it up. I just got this crazy feeling. He's done it for the last few years. Like I said, I want to be wrong. But I just got this crazy feeling that he's going to screw up somewhere.
Well, remember the last time it took him 2 years to get that contract done.
Yeah.
With Dak. And here's the thing, it's been hit, I like driving because it gives me a chance to think. And, one of Jerry Jones's big sayings is deadlines make deals get done. And the thing is they always wait till the last minute, and every time it hurts them. Remember when Kirk Cousins got his deal, the fully guaranteed at $28 million. I remember saying then the Cowboys need to hurry up and get Dak Prescott's deal done before Russell Wilson.
Yeah, I remember.
Okay, and then Russell Wilson signed for 35, and you kept seeing it. The numbers just kept going up, and they kept waiting, and they ended up having to have him as a franchise tag, which ended up being the full load. And they kept wasting time. And, I've been saying, I said at the beginning of last year, they need to hurry up and get Dak Prescott's deal done. Last year, this time, 47, 48 was the top. Now we're at 55. They gotten this thing done last year. Maybe it was 50. You could have gone through and made it 50. And this is where I tell people, don't keep looking at what the guys made last year.
Right.
Okay. The salary cap's gone up, 12%. So the percentages are still the same. So if Dak signs for 60, in last year's money, it's actually about 53.5. And you look at it, and if he signs for 60, because right now, you're sitting there saying, well, damn, Lamar Jackson's deal is looking pretty good right now, right? At 51, if Dak signs for 60. So next year, when Pat Mahomes gets his done and the Trevor Lawrences and things like that, and it's closing in on 70, you'll look back and say, well, Dak's deal's not that bad. And so you have to look at this as the salary cap is going to continue to go up. And this is where you have to make decisions and say, we can push that down the road because we know we can get more cap relief there then. And this is where you also should be looking at and saying, I need to go ahead and get CD and Micah done right now before it goes up even more.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But every time they screw around and mess up the contracts and pay too much.
And my thing is, Jerry.
Yeah.
Let's turn back into Wildcat again.
Mm-hmm.
What you need to do is you need to go ahead on, sign Dak.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When you sign Dak, no press conference until everything is said and done. No press conference.
Right.
You need to go on. You need to sign Dak. After you sign him, give Patrick Queen a phone call. Give what's the name of Seattle a phone call. Give Devin White a phone call. Give Devontae David a phone call.
Yeah.
Give Derrick Henry a phone call. Give Saquon Barkley a phone. You need to be on the damn phone, man. You don't need after you sign Dak, you don't need to be in no press conference talking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You need to become businessman, Jerry.
Right.
Yeah. You said headlines make deals.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Make that deal, damn it.
No, get these deals done before the deadline. Stop waiting until Zeke is in freaking Cabo running around and stuff, and the season's here. Oh well, shit, we got to get him signed. We'll just throw $19 million at him. Okay, we'll get him in. That's what keeps screwing us. Is they keep fucking around on these contracts.
Yeah.
Let me look. Name me the only contract I can think of that I said, well, damn, that was a good contract, was Tyron Smith's. Tyron Smith is the only one you look at and say, we got value on that one. That was a good deal. We signed him for $90-some million, but he's been able to play all those years. I look at Jalen Smith, Zeke Elliott's, Michael Gallup. I'm hoping I'm wrong on Terrence Steele.
Yeah, me too.
All these contracts that we keep going through that are Dak's contract, how they got it signed with, you can't trade me, you can't franchise tag me, you just give me my cash. Okay, I mean, I'll be honest, Dak bent them over. And he could bend them over again. Mm-hmm. Everybody says, well, he should take a team friendly. Why? What you gonna do? You gonna do something with the money? That's what I'd be. What you show me the list of guys we're gonna bring in if I give you a team friendly deal.
Exactly.
James Snyder, Chris May, what's up? Dwayne Sweeney, Lady Libra in the house. Ronnie, what's up? In Game Time, I hope you're feeling better.
I'm like you, Mark. Show me who you gonna bring in.
Mm-hmm.
If you bring these sons of bitches in, get them to sign the dotted line, I will bend over.
Mm-hmm.
I will literally bend over. Pause. Mm-hmm. But you know what I'm saying.
Attack. Packer fans that like your concept. Appreciate that, Pack Attack.
I would bend over and I'd be like, hey, let's get a tour started. Let's run through everybody.
For sure.
Maybe Dak should play it like this. I mean, because I remember when Russell Wilson said, if you don't sign me by the 15th of April to a long-term extension, I will never sign another deal. And I remember they got that deal done at like midnight that night and kept him there, although it didn't work out real good. Maybe they should have let him go. But be that as it may, maybe if I'm Dak, I go in and say, okay, restructure my deal and get some cap space. And when you want to start bringing it, listen, we got the contract right here. Okay, this contract I'll sign, but restructure me for now. And when you start bringing people in and need cash, and you say, okay, I got Derrick Henry here to come in, and I've got Patrick Queen, and we need some cash, I'll sign the contract.
Yeah,
I'll give you the space.
Yeah,
prove to me that you're gonna do something with it. There you go.
Show me what we need. Show me what you got. And if I like what I see, where's the dotted line for me to sign?
Yeah, there you go. And say, listen, I tell you what, if you bring in some really good studs, I'll drop an extra $50 million off the contract. How about that?
And who knows? That's probably what Dak is doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the reason why you haven't heard no talking going on.
Yeah. Listen, I'll deal. I'm about trying to get me a Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. If you gonna really you bring me the list of guys we gonna try and sign, I will give you a discount if you gonna bring them in. There you go.
You know, and that's my attitude, because my thing would be like, hey man, look, I want a Super Bowl. You talking about you want a Super Bowl before you die?
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah.
I'm trying to do you a favor, and you sitting here BSing going on. You know, you want to sit here, you want to play and tease everybody. Come on, man, you can't have both.
If I'm Dak, I wouldn't want an extension just playing this year and I'm gone. That's another thing that I've thought about too, because, you know, if I'm Dak Prescott, do I really want to be here? You know, because, or for me, this is what I would say if I were Dak Prescott. If they turned around and said, we're just going to restructure your deal, we'll see you at the end of the year for a new one, I'd be like, you know what, screw you, I'm never signing another contract with you. And I'm going to walk away, I'm going to pick the team I want to go to, and I'm going to make sure it's a team that's stocked, and I'll give them a break if they're going to go out and get some more people to help me win a Super Bowl, because then I can say, I got that. Jeffrey Hubbard said, I need to be Dak's agent. No, Todd France is doing okay. He's doing okay without me. I don't think Todd France needs me.
Yeah.
Mark, I'm going to tell you something.
What's that?
I'm going to tell you something. If that was to happen, if Dak was to say, screw it, go to somebody like Pittsburgh or somebody, and they go to the Super Bowl, that'll kill Jerry.
Oh my God, you ain't lying about that.
Because all the other players who he have released
have had some of them had some. Yeah.
He don't care about that. He don't care about that. It's Dak. It's Dak, because if Dak was to leave and go to Super Bowl with somebody else, win MVP, just win all kind of honors, especially in Super Bowl year. That alone would take him straight to his grave. That'll kill him.
You're right about that. All right, I'm going to play a little exercise here. Now, this is a laundry hat story, and it's the top 15 free agents the Cowboys have ever signed. How many do you think will be in the last 5 years?
None.
Okay, at number 15 is cornerback Anthony Henry in 2005. Okay, he was good. Number 14, Zach Thomas in 2008. Zach was he was Hall of Famer, but I don't know that we really got that much out of Zach. I mean, he was here for 1 year. Jaron Kearse. Okay, now Jaron Kearse, you know, an interesting thing about Jaron Kearse was he never had more than 50 tackles in any season before. He wasn't, you know, it wasn't a big name. When we signed Jaron Kearse, people were going, "Yeah, we got that." No, they weren't doing that. He had 2 good seasons there. Keith Brookings, 2009. I forgot about him being here. Again, another over-the-hill guy that was only here for a cup of coffee.
I think it was good for half.
Darren McFadden in 2015. And when Darren McFadden, they signed him, he was averaging, I think, 3.3 yards a carry for 3 years straight. He got behind that good offensive line of the Cowboys, and it helped rejuvenate his career for 2 seasons.
Yeah, he had a 1,000-yard year.
Ken Hamlin. Ken Hamlin was good in 2007. Damn. Rocket Ismail in 1999. Okay. You can see how bad this list sounds right now. Kyle Kosher, 2006, offensive lineman. Damn.
Yeah.
Leonard Davis in 2007. Okay. Ray Donaldson in 1995. Okay. This is bad. Okay.
He got a Hall of Fame. I mean, he got a Super Bowl ring with us.
Yeah, he did. No, but I'm thinking that all these people, James Washington, 1990.
Got 3 rings. No, 2.
Yeah.
T.O. at number 4 at 2006.
Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Okay. Jay Novacek, 1990.
He should be in the Hall of Fame.
Oh my God, this is actually worse than I thought.
Leroy
Glover, that was a good one at number 2.
Yeah.
And Dion at number 1. So out of all of the top 15 free agent signings, the only one that is within the last 10 years. No, 12 years.
Yeah.
Is Jaron Kearse.
And I was off by 1. I thought I'd see 2.
That goes to okay, so that goes to show you we ain't done shit. I mean, the last big name that you could say was Greg Hardy. And that blew up in our face.
Yeah.
So
I remember when they signed Hardy, we got like ragged on for like the domestic violence stuff and
another discounted player. So as we look at this, we ain't doing anything. If you're telling me Brandon Carr, yeah. I'm surprised Brandon Carr wasn't on that list. He was probably the biggest free agent signing that we've had in the last 14 years. Because he signed, I think, a $48 million contract in 2012.
I think it was actually $55 million.
Was it 55?
Yeah.
I remember because because he was here for Youth Symposium, and I picked him up at National Airport. So I had Brandon Carr in my car. Right after he became a Cowboy, which is interesting. But I was like, bro, you don't know what you're in for, man. I was like, Tracy's like, what are you doing? Shut up. So looking at this, that should tell you that when you see everybody out there building their team or topping their team off with free agents, you see San Francisco and the Eagles, they constantly are bringing in more free agents. We ain't done shit. This is pretty sad.
Yeah.
My thing is this, Mark. My thing is
Cam Newton getting involved in a fight. That's not surprising.
I don't want to hear Stephen Jones say, I
don't want to hear him say shit.
I don't want him saying Jack Doodle. I don't want him saying that same lame excuse.
You can't build through free agency. We don't think that's the right way because we believe in our own guys. I can agree with that to a point, but when you don't have a linebacker, you don't believe in a safety as a linebacker, jackass.
Right.
And I don't want to hear that same excuse of, we saying for the future. I'm like, motherfucker, the future's now. Pardon my language.
Well, and that's exactly what Dan Quinn said. That is exactly what Dan Quinn said.
Yeah.
The future is now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Shout out to George Allen.
Yep. All right. So
it's now.
Are we set to believe that ain't shit gonna happen? You guys have any hope?
If keep going the way that it's been going, it's only going to be the same result. If there's any change whatsoever, it'll basically depend on if that gets re-signed real soon, if they get CeeDee Lamb's deal done, and if they actually make a good splash in free agency that actually helps the team win.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, we can only hope.
We can always hope, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can only hope. I'm just curious because I feel like more than any other time, I mean, we've had, fans mad before, but I've never seen it like it is now. It has been ugly. I mean, uglier than I can ever remember it.
No.
Yeah.
It's, Mark, I've been following you, Law, and all the other content creators since 2016.
Mm-hmm.
And this year alone, I'd say since the Green Bay loss, everybody has been, everybody has been pissed off. Everybody's been mad, and and it's almost as if, they want to be mad at the Jones family, but they want to take it. They want to go through, for an example, they want to go through Dak to get to the Jones family.
Yeah.
But have you noticed? Have you noticed the sea change though? Of how the talking heads and the shows have now pivoted to Micah Parsons.
Yeah, and I think they're doing that since he kind of got in Stephen A's face, during that interview they had. Right. I think it was last week or week before, whenever it was.
Yeah.
But he kind of got back to.
Well, you know what I think actually. Here's the thing that I will say.
It looked pretty nice. Yeah.
Now I'm gonna probably fuck up here when I say this, and I got to be careful, but somebody out there who is a journalist, newspaper guy, at the Star and stuff like that, has gone off before about, guys that are in their mama's basement or, don't have a journalism degree. And I've been doing live streams since 2016 on YouTube on Monday nights and stuff because I was doing the B.A.M show, and I was like, if I'm doing the B.A.M show, why don't I go ahead and live stream what I'm doing so they can see what's behind the scenes of me doing this radio show. Shout out to Isaac for the super chat, $9.99. Mark, say they usually go all in and they come out flat in the playoffs. Will you be convinced in letting Dak go? Isaac, if he's not playing, if everybody else is playing great and he's just playing like ass, then let him go. But I can't look and say, let's get rid of Dak and everybody else is still shit. And it's not like we've had 30 years of great team. This is the thing you got to get in your mind. It's 30 years of having problems getting to the Super Bowl. It's not just the quarterback. There's got to be something bigger, because you could say Romo was a great quarterback. I say Dak and Romo were good enough quarterbacks on the right teams to win Super Bowls. Problem is we don't have the right team. And I don't know that we have the right team that anybody can win the Super Bowl with. I honestly looked at that and say, tell me what quarterback we put in there that's going to take us all the way with the things that we had this year without a running game and a defense that can stop the run. I just don't see that.
None.
And if you can find me, and here's the thing, you can try and move up and take one of the top tier quarterbacks, but you could look at 2021 and say Trevor Lawrence was number 1, Trey Lance was 3, and Zach Wilson was number 2. What if you go ahead and take all your draft picks and move up and try and get one of those guys, and that's what you got? Nothing. And then the players that you miss on because you don't have those draft picks, because it's not like we go through a free agency. See, the Eagles mess up in the draft, but they said we're going to make up for it by going out and getting a player where we need one. We lose linebackers, and we look at guys that are getting cut because they're injured. We bring in Anthony Barr, who's had a tore ACL. We don't fix the problems, and our free agents are guys that are over the hill. So as I'm looking at this list, and we just went through the top 15 free agent signings, when you've got Zach Thomas and Keith Brookings, which were basically 1-year guys that were past their prime on the way out to being retired, and you only have Jaron Kearse in the top 15, we ain't doing anything in free agency in a free agency era.
It cracks me up when everybody talk about what quarterback we need to pick up, what quarterback we need to think about when to call. My thing is, why are you saying all this stuff about you want this quarterback, you want that quarterback, and if we were to get that quarterback, you gonna sign his death warrant like you doing Dak Prescott right now. Y'all need to shut the hell up talking about, we need to get this quarterback, we need to get that quarterback. Shut up.
U.S. Marine Corps. Shout out to U.S. Marine Corps with the big super chat. All in. Trade Parsons to Chicago. They like linebacker and get the number 1 overall pick and future first round pick and maybe a third this year. Trade down the first. Okay. I don't think that Chicago's going to give you 2 number 1s.
No.
For Micah Parsons. I mean, if you could get that trade, if you could get the number 1 pick for Micah Parsons. And another, do it. Hell yes. But what you're talking about, I want you to think about this. When the Eagles moved up to get Carson Wentz, They did 2 trades to get there. They traded with Tampa Bay, I think, first, a couple of picks to get to like 11, and then they ended up trading a bunch more picks to get up to there. When you think about Washington trading up to get RG3, it was 3 number 1s and a third. They're not taking Micah Parsons for the first pick.
No,
just that one. I mean, now maybe they'll give you the number 9, but that would be about it. They've got the first and the 9. Maybe they'll give you the 9, but they're not giving you the first overall pick and then a pick the following year for Micah Parsons. That ain't gonna happen. And here's the problem. Here's the problem that you have to look at. You're talking about guys making trades that made a trade for Amari Cooper for a 5th round draft pick. Do you think we'd actually get value for Micah Parsons? The Cowboys are the ones making the trade?
Absolutely not.
We moved back. We moved back with the Eagles, and all we got was a 3rd round pick.
Man, you call Chicago want a deal like that? That laugh you out the phone.
Yeah,
they'd probably hang up after hearing.
Yeah. They would laugh you out the phone and hang up in your face all at the same time.
Yeah.
Whoever wrote that in the comments they are living in a complete pipe dream.
Well, hey, I would take that trade every day. You know what? If you could do that, hey, you could get the Bears to give me 2 number 1s for Micah, and if you could do that trade with CeeDee Lamb and get 2 number 1s for him, shoot. And if you could trade Dak and get me 3 number 1s, okay, sure. How about we just have the whole 1st round draft, okay? Yeah. And we'll just pick a whole new team of all-stars. But it don't.
If you remember,
that's thought, but I don't think that works in Madden games.
Yeah,
Carolina did that dumb deal a year before last.
Yeah.
They're probably never going to trade with the Bears again.
But
and I bet you they regret it to this day too.
Oh yeah.
And here's the problem too: is the draft is a crapshoot. Let's be honest with you.
Yeah.
Everybody has the potential to be a great player or be a bust. And you look at what we just did this past year in the draft. Are you saying let's get rid of our best player on defense and let these guys draft? Okay.
Right.
All right. No, my thing, it seems like everybody's trying to go around this the hard way. To me, the hardest position to find somebody is quarterback.
Yeah, I agree.
It's the hardest position to get right.
Running back is not as hard to find. Offensive lineman is not as hard and as expensive to find. Wide receiver is not as expensive and as hard to find. There's a lot more wide receivers out there than there are quarterbacks. There's a lot more running backs out there than there are good quarterbacks. So why don't we, knowing that we just went through the exercise and seeing that the Cowboys have done nothing in free agency, and I'm sitting here looking at the list here, think about the picks that we had that helped us with the Super Bowl. Ray Donaldson, 1995, Deion Sanders, James Washington, Jay Novacek. Those are 4 guys that were instrumental in us winning Super Bowls. Those were players right there that we signed in free agency. It's not like the Joneses haven't done it before.
Well, and not to mention,
and we're not doing that now.
Years, we had multiple picks that they knew the guys they were looking for, and they had a smart draft system and managed to get the good players that we needed to win those Super Bowls in the 90s. The best draft out of that period was the 91 draft, where they got Russell Maryland with the first overall pick and got Alvin Harper later on. That to me was after that. Time frame.
Yeah, so I mean, we all see the problems. Oh, the reason why I was talking about that other talking head was when you see Micah Parsons, who's doing this, in between playing football and doing stuff that nobody's done since Green Bay Packer Eagle Reggie White. Starting a career with 40-plus sacks. And he comes on and he sits there and goes toe for toe with the standard bearer, Stephen A. Smith. And literally has Stephen A. Smith just kind of look like he's a Muppet. because he couldn't get an argument. So if he can do this, he can sit there for an hour and he's got better numbers than you do while he's being a full-time football player. That's why they're all attacking him now. Oh, he needs to shut up and focus on football. He needs to try and be the next Lawrence Taylor, because you know what? He's already beat your ass in your arena, and y'all are threatened by him.
Yeah, he showed Stephen A. up. He really did.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why everybody in the media is pissed off at Michael.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Because he literally showed Stephen A. that I don't care what you say.
Mop the floor with them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then on top of that, you know, Micah, what messed them up was they didn't know how smart Michael was. And they tried to insult his intelligence, and he was just coming back at him, and you know, and it beat him down.
Sorry, that was where I was looking at the list there. Ad came through. So Stephen A. Smith was not defeated by Parsons. I don't know about that one.
I don't know about
that he was. All the arguments that he made, all the arguments that trashing Dak, he had him. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
But that's okay. If you don't believe it, listen. He did better than most. I'll say that much. But again, I'd love to see him being one of the all-time greats. But he can't. The thing is. In the same way I say Dak can't do it all himself, Micah Parsons can't do it all himself. Lawrence Taylor, it wasn't like it was just Lawrence Taylor on that defense. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't like it was just Michael Strahan on that defense for the Giants there either. You gotta remember something. When Lawrence Taylor played, I'm gonna give you young Cowboy fans a lesson. When Lawrence Taylor was playing, y'all also got to remember something. Lawrence Taylor had another Hall of Famer on that defense that was by his side, and that guy go by the name of Harry Carson. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. He also had Carl Banks there too,
and Carl Banks
for sure,
and a very underrated Gary Reasons.
Okay, wait, damn. They had Pepper Johnsons, Harry Carsons,
Pepper Johnson,
Lawrence Taylor, Mark Collins. Damn.
See, if you won't,
they had Jim Burt. Damn, I didn't realize Jim Burt, Carl Banks, Pepper Johnson, Harry Carsons, Lawrence George Taylor. Martin. Damn, Terry Kennard. And Kenny Hill. Yeah, that defense was pretty much loaded there. The thing is don't get me wrong. Lawrence Taylor was transitional. But see, when you have great players across the line and they can't just double team you like they were. I mean, how many times have we seen three guys on Micah Parsons? He's getting double teamed and then the back is hitting him too. Then that means the guys on the other side, you should be eating because you only have to beat one guy. You only have to beat one guy. And how many times have you seen with the 49ers, Nick Bosa getting a sack and nobody touches him? Nobody touches him. Because there's so many guys that you can't double team them and literally miss assignment. Because they have guys across the board that can play.
That get to what I'm about ready to tell you, Mark.
What's that?
If you have say, for instance, if you have it doesn't matter if it's offense or defense. Mm-hmm. If you have a player who's the best at his position, that player got to have a supporting cast.
Right.
If you don't have a supporting cast, he's going to have issues. I give you an example. I give you a prime example. Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Remember all throughout the first, I said about the first 5 years of his career, he was kicking ass, but he didn't have that surrounding cast around him. Mm-hmm. Well, welcome Scottie Pippen. Welcome Horace Grant. Mm-hmm. Welcome Bill Cartwright. Welcome Will Purdue. The cast kept growing and growing and growing. And when it grew, that was when they won them 6 NBA titles in something like a 7-year period.
Mm-hmm.
If Dak can get that, in which he do, things will be all good. If Micah can get that on defense, oh man, if he can get that, we're gonna be on fire.
Yeah, and that's the thing, that people don't seem to. They think, oh, you got Micah Parsons, man, your team's great. Okay, just think about this. Alvin Harper played great with the Cowboys, but how did he do in Tampa Bay and Washington?
Not that good.
He was ass.
Right. So you look at it and say the people around him, the fact that you had a great running game with, Emmitt Smith, that you had Michael Irvin outside, that you had a great quarterback passing to you, it made his job that much easier. And I didn't mean this because that's DMV. It's one of his coaches that he had and things like that. I'm not trying to say that to sully Alvin Harper, but the reality is a lot of players are great, not because of just their individual talents and effort, but also the situation that they play in. Steve Young, when he played with Tampa Bay, the 3 years he was there, they looked and said, that guy's a bust. But he goes to San Francisco with the right coaching and a good team, and he becomes a Hall of Famer. And this is where people don't seem to understand. You look and say, well, it's just the quarterback. If you think it's just the quarterback, how different would the game might have been? And I'm not trying to throw CeeDee Lamb under the bus, but if CeeDee Lamb catches those 2 passes early. Right?
We're talking about a different.
We're talking about a different attitude right there, as opposed to, we're sitting here like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? The coach over here talking to the player and things. If he's catching those passes, we're getting first downs and moving the chains. It's a totally different attitude all the way around. And Troy, you are 100% right. That's because Harper had Irvin on the other side. He didn't have to do that. Yeah, and the thing is then he went to other places. And they didn't have Michael Irvin on the other side. He's not as good, and that's the thing that we have to understand. As everybody is now out here, the formula is you got to draft well and have a good team, and then top it off with other guys that are good that can take you to an elite level or can fill in when you lose people. We lose people and our stuff goes to shit every year. Be if it's Sean Lee, Leighton Vander Esch, Tyron Smith, because we don't look at and say, we don't think ahead and say, what if Tyron Smith can't play? What is our thing that's going to keep us from stepping back into the abyss? We don't have a plan B. So I don't know. I guess this week I think will be telling because, again, with the combine going, this is where all the agents are there, the coaches are there, the owners are there. This is the week a lot of work and stuff gets done, where trades get happening and all that. That this would be the week that I would see, or I would want to see, if they're going to do Dak, that it gets done this week, because free agency starts in 2 weeks from today, legal tampering. Corey Pearson says Dak struggles against good defenses. Well, I'd say that the whole team struggles against good defenses because they can't run the football and they can't block. If you got an elite pass rush that's coming through and they're getting through, of course you're going to struggle against bad teams. Here's the thing. I want you guys, trust me, y'all think, oh, he's just in the tank. He worked for Dak Prescott. I don't work for Dak. Dak ain't giving me shit. He's not. If anything, I work for Dak. We gave him a check for $5,000 for his charity. What I'm saying is if you see there's a problem with Dak, do what the Eagles did when they had question marks about Hurts. They went into it 2 years ago and said, we don't know if that's the guy or not, but let's do everything we can to support him and find out. Let's get him a great receiver to go along with Devontae Smith, and they get A.J. Brown. They made sure that they had a good running game. They made sure their offensive line, they had a couple of good backups in there in case somebody got hurt. We don't do that. We go out and we say, yeah, we don't need Amari Cooper or Cedric Wilson. We got Noah Brown, and Michael Gallup will be coming back from injury. Oh, Zeke, man, Zeke's old, man. He's old. We'll just get rid of Zeke. We won't bring. We'll get Wild Thing. We'll bring in an undersized back, and we'll try and make him a fourth down specialist. How about that? We are literally taking away from what our quarterback has and expecting him to do more. Do I have that right?
You're right. We made some trifling risks. We made some trifling risks, man. We made some trifling risks. And I told a buddy of mine last week, I told her, I said, Liz, because we was talking about our wide receivers, and I told her, I said, Liz, you can offer me down on this, I don't care. But we got rid of the wrong receiver a couple of years ago when we traded off Amari Cooper. We got rid of the wrong receiver. We really did. We did.
Yeah.
We got rid of the wrong receiver. And
we definitely did. And that goes back to the problems. We're sitting here saying, well, that's taking too much money. Well, how about the money that Zeke took? How about the money that Michael Gallup took? How about the money that Jalen Smith took? How about the money La'el Collins? We were still paying La'el Collins last year in dead money. How about all those guys? It's the only person that's taking money is Dak Prescott. Well, we would be doing things if we weren't paying Dak. Well, we did that for 4 years. $680,000, and $2 million. Who did we bring in? Let me look at the list again.
Right.
Oh, J-Ron Kurtz. He's at 13 of the top 15. Okay, that's the highest one. And J-Ron Kurtz was what, $2 million? Oh, okay. I got it. All right, good people. I'll let y'all get the final words in. I need to go up here, get these butcher blocks done, and I got to drive back to Harrisburg tonight. So,
well, first off, I want to say thank you for letting me join.
No problem, man. Glad you're here.
Yeah, thank you. I've been a part of your channel for 8 years. I subscribed to you when you only had 15 subscribers.
So you're the one.
And also, I've been a Cowboys fan for over 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
I have not seen my team win a Super Bowl since I was 13. I can even read the list of the roster of that 95 Super Bowl team. Even the kicker and punter, which is Chris Boniel and John Jett, by the way. But, yeah, in my opinion, I think this team could actually have a shot. But as far as a Super Bowl, if we're being real here, it's going to take a lot. A lot.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's a lot. I think if you went out and you made 4 good free agent moves, 4 good, game changers, not just, we got a warm body. I think you could be there. If you got your running game, you go out and get a running game going, you get a really good linebacker, and I still say a receiver. And I'm for one would be happy if we traded the second pick for a player. Because we suck at second round picks.
I concur.
You know what I'm saying?
I concur on that.
I talked to Buffalo. Say, Buffalo, look, I'll give you my next 2 number 2s for Stephon Diggs. Okay? Can we talk? Can we talk, brother? Somebody in here said that. Where was it? This man will always take up for Dak, and he has great receivers and had a great running back and still didn't win in the playoffs. When did we ever have a great defense? And let me say, as far as running back goes, we have not had a running game in the playoffs, guys. The only 100-yard game that Zeke Elliott had was his rookie year in 2016.
Yep, against Green Bay.
Against Green Bay. And he has, in 7 playoff games, 2 touchdowns, and has averaged 61 yards. And that Green Bay game was 128 yards. The last 2 playoff games he played for the Cowboys, he was held to under 30 yards. So don't tell me he had a great thing. And don't tell me that the year before when we had Noah Brown and Michael Gallup with CD that we had great receivers. We didn't. Yeah. In our offensive line, when we were playing Jason Peters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right, Thomas.
Okay. Before I get to mine, I have to say rest in peace, Golden Riches.
Amen on that one, man.
For you young Cowboy fans, go on YouTube and type in Golden Riches, and you will see a good job that he did for our Cowboys back in the 70s. And the game-winning touchdown that he caught from Robert Newhouse himself, God rest his soul, in Super Bowl 12. I saw that game. But anyway, I just hope that, the combine is this week. I just hope that we could, see some nice prospects and hope that we can draft some of those prospects from the combine up in Indianapolis. And
we can get 3 big home run hitters out of this draft, regardless of which round. That'll definitely make a big impact.
And the running back, I hope we can get one out of free agency, and I hope that we can get one from the draft. I know what running back me personally, I know what running back we need to draft. I think we need to draft that guy from Missouri.
Okay.
Cody Schrader. Mark, I don't know you heard about him, but he's Cody Schrader. He is a Christian McCaffrey 2.0.
I've seen his highlight tape. It's phenomenal.
You know about Cody David?
Oh yeah, I've been watching the drafts. I've been looking at the prospects, and I've been watching a lot of mock drafts. And Schrader's been projected to go in the late second round, which is around the time we pick. If they take him in the second round, I think we got an instant upgrade.
Was that Cody Schrader?
Yeah.
Yeah. But my mind is on this free agency thing. I just hope that we could sign Dak, and once we sign Dak, we can start signing the players that we need.
Yeah.
Sign Dak immediately. Don't be trying to wait and try to get everybody's attention and all of that, because if you're gonna do that, Patrick Queen will be gone.
Oh yeah. You're right.
What's the name will be gone? All these top linebackers will be gone. You trying to, you jacking around, trying to get everybody's attention, having signed Dak and everything. And when you finally sign them, all the key linebackers and other players in positions that we need are going to be gone. Do that. Sign Dak.
Yeah.
Sign Dak. And after you sign them, immediately get on the phone and start shopping. Don't go to Dollar General. Don't go to a Dollar Tree. Don't go to any of these thrifty stores. You need to take your ass to Louis Vuitton, Gucci. You need to go to these top dollar stores for a change.
Oh yeah.
You don't saw that nice looking sexy thing. Nice looking sexy thing. Take your tail to Louis Vuitton.
Get some real shit.
Yeah.
The real deal. And once you do that, then you make your press conference.
Yeah.
That's all.
All right.
I know how I am.
Man, listen, all I'm saying is, and people can kill me and all that, I just look around and say, if everybody just keeps saying that, just get rid of Dak, we'll just get somebody else. I've been around long enough to see that good quarterbacks don't grow on trees. And all I'm saying is let's at least do what the Eagles did with Jalen Hurts. It got them to a Super Bowl. I can't look and say that Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback than Dak Prescott. But yet he was in the Super Bowl. So why don't we look and say, what did they do to get that guy into a Super Bowl? They ended up surrounding him with other players. That's all I'm saying is let's try that for once, because you're not seeing the Dallas Cowboys try and do that. Their whole goal is to make sure that we are at least, threatening to make the playoff or a playoff team, so that way people are coming in the stands, and that's why we are rich. They're not taking chances that may end up leading to a down year to try and get there. It's what you got to do. It's what you got to do. But we haven't been willing to do that. This list right here, I'm going to make sure I use that shit, goes to show you when we went out and we got some free agency after having good drafts, we won Super Bowls. We don't, and we haven't. There you have it. All right, good people. I'm going to catch you all on the flip side. I appreciate y'all, but I got to get up on the road. Peace.
You know, I am not a smart man. And peace after reading all the things that I've been reading about the Eagles today, I am even dumber than I was this morning. That's right. It is getting harder and harder to calculate the calculations of the cornbread because I can't do math and I can't remember numbers. I'm getting really dumb. And I'm already dumb.